With us this morning from Mason County Public Health, it's Deb Riley. Good morning, Deb.
Good morning.
Good to see you in here, and we're talking bats this morning.
We are. It's
yikes.
like the whole county's gone batty recently.
They have. My goodness, I read the story on iFiber One News Radio. It says you got 3 sent out to the labs for testing. What's the story on these bats?
Well, actually, we had 4 go in last week.
Wow.
And all 4 came back negative.
Good.
But between May and August, we have the baby bats coming out. And although bats are the only mammal that can actually fly, you know, some glide like the squirrels, but bats are the only ones that can actually fly. They can't take off from the ground like a bird. So the babies that are learning to fly often end up on the ground where children or pets or somebody gets a hold of them, and they're taken out of their element. But to be able to fly, bat has to climb up and then start by soaring, and then it can fly. So there's a real method to their being able to get around. But the babies, like I said, between May and August are easy picking for all sorts of predators. 2 of those that we sent in last week were very small, and Carol, our vector person, thought they're probably very young as well. The biggest thing that we have in this county is people who come out, use their summer home maybe, or have a party and the doors are open a lot, and they wake up in the morning to a bat in their bedroom. Now, several years ago, and let me get this right, in 1995 in Lewis County, a young girl died of rabies. And people found a bat in her bedroom, killed it, took it out and buried it, and she succumbed to rabies. They figured that children tend to drool, and I thought, great, I'm a child again. But so the bat may have been licking at the corner of her mouth trying to get some water, and so now, since 1995, bats in a bedroom or bats in a room with a person who is incapable of knowing that they've had a bat on them, somebody who is disabled, a small child, maybe a very elderly person. Those are all concerns. But that bat in the bedroom is considered a potential exposure. So we ask people to please catch the bat without touching it, get it into some kind of a sturdy container, not a Ziploc bag, because bats can claw their way out of those, and bring it to us. And we'll get it in for testing when there's been an exposure.
Why do bats, are they more, have the rabies virus than other animals, or?
I don't know if it's more, but we come in contact with the sick ones more.
Okay.
They say 5 to 10% of all the bats we send in have rabies, and that sounds like a very high number, and it's kind of scary, but it's because those are the bats that people come in, or their pets come in contact with.
Are there certain parts of the county that are more apt to bats, or is it everywhere?
I think it's everywhere just because of the kind of county we are. In, one more time, 1997, Mason County had a 64-year-old man die of rabies. And he was in one of our outlying areas. The subsequent investigations after it was determined that he died of rabies couldn't figure out how on earth he came in contact with a bat. Maybe it was just doing yard work. You know, I really don't know. I know sometimes when I go home, and I live completely across Oakland Bay from where this incident was, the bats kind of collect in my headlights as I'm driving down the road home, and the bats will swoop in and grab the insects. Now, the little brown bats that we have a lot of in this area will eat up to 100 mosquitoes a night. So they're pretty good mosquito control. You know, there's a nice balance in nature.
So what we're getting from this is bats in the bedroom are the main thing to be worried about, but other than that, bats are just a part of the...
Bats are good for the environment.
Bats are good for the environment. And what do you suggest? Should people build those bat houses Also to keep them away from their house?
Away from their house, not right up next to the house. Yeah, we did those as a 4-H project with our 4-H kids. But we need to teach kids not to handle any wild animal, especially not bats. We need to vaccinate our pets. Even people say, oh, my cat's an in-the-house cat, so I never got it vaccinated. Well, one open door and it's not an inside cat anymore. We need to make sure our houses and where we're living are protected from bat entry. Any place that's a half an inch by a quarter of an inch, just that small, will allow a bat to get in.
Wow. That's not very big at all.
Yeah, window screens don't have the wide open windows. Put a screen door on your door if you like to have the door open, have the breeze come through. Just try and bat-proof your home. There's a lot of great information online at the State Department of Health. You just click on bats. That's www.doh.wa.gov. We're working on our webpage, but the bat article that Jeff ran in on iFiber 1, that Dr. Yu, our health officer, wrote is also on our website.
Okay.
So people can have access to that. Or they can call us at the health department. We'll be able to pull things up and answer their questions.
What's the health department's phone number?
It is 427-9670. Extension 400.
All right, Debbie Riley from Mason County Public Health in to talk about bats. And again, you can read the story on iFiber1newsradio.com or check out the Public Health website for more information. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you.
It's 8:23 at iFiber 1 News Radio.